Along the beautiful Pacific coastline of Oaxaca, Mexico, on the outskirts of the small town of Cacalotepec, you'll find a place called Roca Blanca Spanish School. Roca Blanca is a Christ-centered Spanish school run by missionaries and created for missionaries and cross-cultural Christians. The school shares the campus with a Bible school, music school, multi-grade school, and medical clinic, all of which are located just yards away from the beach. Our desire here at Roca Blanca is to offer our students a safe and comfortable learning environment, while at the same time pushing them inside and outside the classroom to master the Spanish language and understand on a deep level the Hispanic culture that surrounds them. Whether you're coming in with just hola and adios, or whether you've been trying to learn Spanish for years, we'll do our absolute best to make sure you leave here having all the tools you'll need to make this beautiful language your own. We know how hard it can be to make a decision like this, so we thought it would be best to have some of our students describe their own experiences. Listen as they take a few minutes to share about what life is really like here in Cacalote, as well as some of the unique opportunities Roca Blanca provides.
So it's really intense. The program is set up really well. I really think that they gradually bring you into it. And the way that they do it is, they teach you verbs and they teach you vocab, and then you kind of use that, and then you kind of build off of it. So it's definitely different from high school, where I just feel like there was no real structure there. So the way that they put it together, I feel like it builds off of each other, and you get like a foundation, and then you kind of build off of that, and then you get a little bit more to where you really can communicate with people. And I think that's key too, is that, when you're here, it's not just the books, it's not just on paper. You really do have to use what you learn and apply it and communicate with the people.
I think in a lot of cases, schools are a little bit separated, kind of focused on the academics and not so much focused on relationship with the people in the area that you're in. And that's one thing I've really liked about here, is there's kind of a built-in community that you come and you're just sort of automatically inserted into it. And there's a lot of people who care about you, who want to see you do well. The teachers want to see it as well, and you're with students who are going through the same thing as you are when you're having struggles and any difficulties. They're shared throughout the community.
The teachers are so encouraging. Most of them are from here. Some are from the States as missionaries helping out, but so encouraging. And many of them are bilingual, so it helps those like me that didn't have any Spanish schools at first to feel comfortable, but they want us to learn their language. They love their language, and they love the history of their country.
So we have 4 children, one of which is a 6-month-old. Depending upon who watches your child, some of the babysitters can come to your house. Sometimes you have to bring them to their house. And sometimes, like in our situation, the babysitter will come and pick our baby up and bring her to her house, which is really convenient, really helps us out so that we can focus on our other children and then getting ourselves ready.
At 8, we have devotional and time of worship, which is a great way to start the day. The devotionals are all in Spanish.
And all the students do them. So it's pretty cool.
Students and teachers do them. So it's really, heartfelt, and it's really a great time to just get to know one another and and just see what God's doing in their life. And then we have about 2 hours of classes. So there's grammar, there's phonics, vocabulary, lab, patterns.
Translating.
And translation. So the big one is grammar. We have it about every day. So we get a lot of grammar, a lot of structure there. And then all the other classes rotate. And then we have almuerzo, which is like lunch here. It's about 10 a.m.
A lot of times if you do have an infant, you can take that time out to go visit your infant or nurse or do whatever you need to do. And then a lot of times you can let them nap, and then you come back and eat, and you get right back to classes.
And then we have about 2 more hours of school after that. And then we head home. And then we have to, with the family like ours, we have quite a bit to do chores-wise and stuff like that. And then there's homework. The Spanish always have homework. It's good homework. It keeps everything kind of focused, and you get to have everything in order for yourself there, which is great.
Yeah.
It's been really good, and when I first got here, I thought this is going to be one of the most difficult things I've done because I couldn't really talk to my host family, and that made it really hard. I'd wake up in the morning with just a little bit of a pit in my stomach, like, oh, I'm going to have to get up and open that door and speak Spanish when I couldn't really speak Spanish. And I think that's been really good because that continues to challenge me. It's obviously not as much of a challenge now, but it's been something that's constant and pushing me, and it's been really good to have that outside of class, just so I'm always able to, when I learn something new in class, I can go home and apply it, or apply it here in the village. And it's been, I wouldn't want to change anything. I love living with the host family, and I'm glad I didn't take another route.
The food is great. Come hungry because they love feeding us.
I'll have almuerzo in the morning, and then a torta around 3 o'clock, and then in the evenings, usually some of us students will go out for tacos or something like that.
On the weekends, I get to eat with my family, and so she makes I think they're traditional cuisines. That's just what they eat, and she makes all kinds of wonderful Mexican food that it's really tasty, very simple, and economical, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, the one key difference about shopping is that there's multiple stops. If you want to get your vegetables, you have to go to the vegetable stand. If you want to get your meat, you have to go to the meat stand. If it's a plastic product you're looking for, you have to go and find a plastic store. So in that sense, it's a little different because instead of just having one stop or two stops, you have multiple little stops. And the plus side of having that is that you get to meet all different types of people. You get to practice your Spanish. You get to really focus in on using what you've learned and interacting with those people.
I'll go to the beach.
Go to the beach.
The beach.
I'm a beach girl. I love spending time at the beach. The waves at different times are larger than others, but the water's warm and it's beautiful, and there's a lot of beach area. Spending time with my family, we might go to the beach or to the river, and also with the other students. Gosh, sometimes we have so many students here and we have a ton of fun together, sharing life together.
We have a lot of family game nights and family movie nights, in fact, because we do have a little computer and a projection, which is nice. There's a pool nearby at a hotel, which our children really love to go to as well.
And even if you just want to take a nap, there's plenty of hammocks around. Or a guy walking down the street with hammocks, I would be more than happy to sell you one.
Yeah.
In Cacalote, I go to a church. It's a local church, and easy to walk to. A lot of the students go to it. A lot of the people that are part of the Bible school and the teachers go to this church.
Our children are involved with the youth group, which is a little difficult at first if they don't know Spanish, because everything is in Spanish. So it takes a little time for them to get adjusted to that.
The service is laid out so that it's given entirely in Spanish, which is really good practice for us students who want to hear a message in English oftentimes, but need to hear a message in Spanish. It's been great practice and great messages, and I've enjoyed it.
There's a lot of opportunity to do outreach, help wherever and however you might want to help around here. In the clinic, students that have had, in the Spanish school, that have had background in the medical profession, they love helping out at the clinic. They're able to go and help take vitals and meet people and help wherever the clinic needs help.
There's even an orphanage.
A lot of times, if you just go spend time with the children, they just love that.
Yeah.
And that's a service in itself, because you're just loving on someone else, and forming that relationship with the kids.
Every session there will be one or two opportunities to go on mission trips up to the mountains, and we'll go either medical missions trips, but we usually have a team assembled that's also doing some children outreach programs, and so we'll set those up beforehand and then come in and deliver messages and play with the kids and do crafts and whatnot, and it's been like a really great experience for my Spanish, and it's just been cool to see these other villages that have their completely separate little cultures and oftentimes separate languages.
We have a class for English here for the Bible school students. So a lot of the students that are in the Spanish school are using their Spanish, and teaching and helping the kids learn English too.
Keep an open mind. Like for the first maybe week, maybe 2 weeks, you might be thinking, hey, what am I doing? Like, what? This place is like so different from where I live in the United States. Like, there's so many different customs. There's so many different things that you eat. You take cold showers. You know, it's like there are things that seem weird and uncomfortable at first that with time, I think you come to appreciate them, and you come to appreciate the fact that people live with these things all the time and oftentimes enjoy them. The culture is very different, and you really kind of come to appreciate it a lot.
You have to be willing to immerse yourself. You have to be willing to adjust and also embrace a totally different culture. There's just a lot of different things. Even coming from Hispanic backgrounds, it's still very different for us. But I think if you prepare yourself and you're prepared to just fully immerse yourself and embrace what's around you, then I think it'll be an easier adjustment for you and your family.
This has been 8 months of my life because I've gone through all 4 levels. That's really changed my life. Not only that I know Spanish, which I really wanted to learn Spanish because I wanted to communicate with new friends that only spoke Spanish, but learning about the people, their history, and living amongst them and seeing how they do life has been just an incredible time for me.
Learning another language and living in a foreign culture is no easy task. For those of you who have felt God's call to share the gospel with your Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters, no matter what it looks like, we're here to help. If what you've seen and heard about Roca Blanca interests you, or if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. At Roca Blanca Spanish School, we believe in the power of words. God spoke life into existence, and we're confident that one day He will use your own words in Spanish to speak new life into someone's heart.